Hello and welcome to my class. In this video, I am going to discuss the biology of Dysdarchus singulatus, which is also known as the red cotton bug. It is one of the most important pests of cotton. This video is the second part of the series on pests of cotton. In the first part, I had talked about the biology of Pectinophora gossypiella or the pink bollworm. I'll put the link of this video in the description box. Cotton is one of the most important fiber crops used in textile industry for making soft, comfortable and breathable fabric. Cotton belongs to family Malvaceae and its scientific name is Gossypium species. Here I say Gossypium species because there are many different species of cotton that are cultivated in different parts of the world. In this distribution map of cotton, you can see that cotton is cultivated in almost all parts of the world. India, along with China, is one of the major producers of cotton. So, any pest that can cause damage to cotton can also cause damage to the agricultural economy of the world. Dysdarchus singulatus is one of them and it causes damage to the cotton crop here in Southeast Asia as well as in Australia. Like I do for all pests, here also I will talk about the systematic position or taxonomic status of Dysdarchus singulatus. Then I will talk about how we can identify this pest and its distribution, its habits, life cycle, the ways it can cause damage to cotton, and the measures that can be taken to control this pest. Dysdarchus singulatus is also known as the red cotton bug or the cotton boll stainer. Let's talk about the systematic position first. It belongs to phylum Arthropoda, subphylum Uniramia, class Insecta, subclass Pterygota, division Exopterygota, order Hemiptera, suborder Heteroptera, family Pyrochoridae, genus Dysdarchus, and species Dysdarchus singulatus. It belongs to order Hemiptera because of the presence of piercing and sucking mouthparts as well as the scutellum or the triangular sclerite on the mesonotum. It belongs to suborder Heteroptera because it possesses the hemielytra or its forewing has the basal part which is leathery or thick and the membranous apical part. It belongs to family Pyrochoridae and the family gets the name Pyrochoridae because of its fire-colored members or very bright red, bright orange colored members. Dysdarchus singulatus is found in Southeast Asia as well as in Australia. For countries like India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Thailand, Philippines, Sumatra, Borneo, Australia and Papua New Guinea, it is a major problem for the cotton farmers. Although this pest is limited to Southeast Asia and Australia, there are other species of Dysdarchus that are found in other cotton producing countries. Let's see how we can identify Dysdarchus singulatus. The most prominent feature is of course its color. It is bright red or blood red in color or bright orange in color. But there are some black spots and markings. The membranous portion of the forewing or the hemielytra is black. There are two black spots on the hemielytra. The scutellum is black. The antennae and the legs are also black. There are transverse bands along the posterior margin of each thoracic and abdominal sterna that are white. The nymphs are also red in color with white bands across the abdomen. You can see these white dorsal bands on the abdomen of the nymph. The younger nymphs would not have any wing bud, but the bigger nymphs have wing buds here. They have piercing and sucking mouthpart and they have a rostrum. The mouthpart is Opisthognathes type and you can see the mouthpart from the ventral side because it is projected towards the back side. Let's talk about the habits of Dysdarchus singulatus. This pest is active throughout the year and passes winter in adult stage. So there is no hibernating stage. Nymphs and adults feed gregariously on cotton bolls. Like most hemipteran pests, they feed in a group. They use their piercing and sucking mouth parts to suck juice from the cotton bolls. They can survive on other malvaceous plants like okra. The bug can transmit the spores of the pathogenic filamentous fungus known as Nematospora gossypi or Ermothecium gossypi. This causes stigmatomycosis or a disease that causes serious damage to cotton bolls. So you see that it not only sucks the sap and causes the primary damage, but it also transmits the spore of this pathogenic fungus, which causes secondary damage to cotton crops. If Dysdarchus singulatus or any other species of Dysdarchus can be controlled, then this fungus is also under control. Let's talk about the life cycle of any hemipteran pest. It would have the egg stage, the nymphal stage, and the adult stage. In Dysdarchus singulatus, the egg hatches in about 7 days and becomes the nymph. The nymph takes about a month or so to become the adult, and it goes through 5 molds. Let's discuss about each stage separately. The female lays eggs in clusters of 70 or 80 eggs each, and the eggs are laid under the moist cell surface, fallen leaves, and crevices. The eggs are spherical in shape and they are yellowish white in color. They are about 1.2 millimeter in length. The eggs hatch after about 7 days of incubation. The eggs hatch into 1 millimeter long blood-colored nymphs. Wings are absent in smaller nymphs, but bigger nymphs have wing buds. Nymphs feed gregariously or in a group on cotton bolls. The nymphal stage lasts for about a month or more and it goes through 5 molting phases. The adult stage lasts for about 3 months. Eggs are laid in August to November. So this is the most dangerous stage because the eggs would also hatch and the nymph as well as the adults will cause the damage to the crop. The pests take shelter under leaves or debris from December to March, that is in winter. From April to July, they feed on okra, which is the alternate host for this pest. Let's see how it can cause damage to cotton. The bugs suck cell sap of green cotton bolls, the leaves and seeds of partially open bolls. So it not only sucks sap from the cotton bolls, but it can also suck sap from the tender parts of the plant. The young bolls are shed because of the damage of Dysdarchus singulatus. In case of severe attack, the boll does not open properly and the lint is of bad quality. The seeds become unfit for sowing or oil extraction. The lint is stained by the excreta or the body juice of the insect in the ginning factories. Boll rot is caused by secondary bacterial infection as well as because of the fungal infection that I talked about before, the cotton bolls are damaged. Let's talk about how we can control Dysdarchus singulatus. There are ways of controlling it like mechanical and cultural control as well as chemical control. When there is not a major infestation, we can use the mechanical and cultural control. How we can do that? Firstly, after harvest, the fields should be thoroughly plowed to expose the eggs to sunlight because they can lay eggs in debris or under the crevices. So, if the soil is plowed properly, then the eggs would be exposed to sunlight and they would die. Okra plants can be planted as trap crop because when okra is growing, then these pests can suck on the juice from okra as well. So you can use okra as a trap crop and can trap the pests from there and destroy them. Dislodging of pests can be done by spraying water mixed with thin film of kerosene oil. But if there is a major infestation of Dysdarchus singulatus, then of course these processes cannot control it. Then we need to use chemical control. We can either use dusting or spraying. For dusting, the crops can be dusted with 4% endosulfan at the rate of 15 to 20 kg per hectare. Or spraying can be done with 0.05% malathion or 1 liter per hectare endosulfan at 35 EC or 250 ml per hectare fosmandion at 100 EC or 1 liter per hectare phenyltrethione in 100 EC. EC is emulsifiable concentrate. These kind of use of pesticide can provide effective control against Distarchus singulatus. So let's recap the whole topic. Systematic position. It belongs to family Hemiptera, suborder Heteroptera, and family Pyrocoridae. For identification, Distarchus singulatus can be identified by its bright red color, black antennae, scutellum, membranous part of the forewing, black spots on the forewing, and then also there are white transverse bands in the ventral region of the body. It is a gregarious feeder, so they feed in a group. They also transmit spores of the fungus that can cause stigmatomycosis. Life cycle contains egg, nymph, and adult stages. The nature of damage is by sucking the sap from bolls and leaves, and it also stains the lint. It can be controlled by mechanical or chemical methods. Hope you liked this video. Please come back for the third part of this series where I'm going to talk about Bemisia tabaci, another important pest of cotton.